Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. We are live, but it looks like there's a little lag. I'll just talk. There's no lag on this one. Okay, it doesn't matter. Welcome to the stream. Today is Run Spot Run, and we are going to do a why, a my wrapped, and music, a research, a decisions to purchase music, and then later there'll be a follow-up. But yes, so today's episode is about leaving Spotify, and we're doing that for a couple of different reasons. This is part of a larger streaming series I've been doing this week called Techno Scream, and it's all me just screaming about the internet. Yesterday, I did the history of labor from medieval times to now. It was a brief history. And then that's taken a lot more time than I thought. But that's okay. And so today's a continuation of that, and I want to read a little bit of my intro from yesterday for you. So, because it was fun and we like continuity. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. No. Okay, yesterday I started like this, so I'm gonna reset. Hi, friends and family. Wait. This is fascinating. I'm using hotkeys to control the camera. And every time I press W for the wide camera, it doesn't matter. Hi, friends and family. This rant was originally written for a live stream I did called Techno Scream the week of Monday, 2025. This week, in honor of our great economy and the Black Friday Cyber Monday deals, this may not be the best way to do this. This is going to be the best way. I don't think anyone's watching, so it doesn't matter. Maybe they're watching, but maybe they'll watch later. Okay. This week, in honor of our great economy and the Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals, I am streaming live programming. I'm calling it a Techno Scream event. As consumers online, we have a big responsibility having to click so many links and be on our best behavior while we are tracked from here to Kingdom Come. This series explores how we got here and ways to switch it up to feel a little less like an automaton, and more like the modern princesses and princes who know their worth. I'll be posting more updates throughout the week. Today's stream is on leaving a giant platform that seems to have corralled all of us onto it. I'm not going to say its name so many more times because it could really be called anything. It doesn't matter. It's just a symptom. But musicians deserve better than this. So that's why we're doing this today. Okay. So now that I read my introduction, let's see how this goes. Is it streaming? It says it's live. We'll just have to keep going. Can you see that? Great. Okay, so why are so many people leaving Spotify? This search engine, I'm using Ecosia, told me that I should search Reddit at the end. And that's probably true because what happens when we look, why are people leaving Spotify? Okay. People are doing it. I'm gonna click this one. it gets to Reddit anyway, because Reddit is kind of like, seems to be the only place people can talk online. Okay, this is a big opinion. If we're talking quitting Spotify for Apple Music, it's pointless. Okay, well, we're not doing that today. So that's not helpful. The point of leaving this platform isn't to just replace it with another platform. It's to think about how you get music in general. So this is I was gonna call it an Onion article. Let's see. Okay, these are all about, I want to know, what did Spotify do to piss people off? I know about Spotify. I know that Spotify is an arms dealer. Guys, this is hard. This is so hard. I'm back. But you weren't looking at my browser this whole time, huh? But no one's watching. But maybe someone will. Okay, I'm gonna click B for browser. So you can see my browser again. You can see my little eyes. Hello. And if I go to Waterfox, here we go. Okay. So it says Chief Executive Daniel Ek announced that he'd led a funding round of nearly 700 million through his personal investment firm Prima Materia into the European defense firm Helsing. Helsing makes AI strike zone drones. And here's a photo of a drone. So that's one facet of what you're paying for. Because what's happening is you're putting your money into Spotify every month, but the money's not going back to the artists. It's funneling through the artists as if they're being paid, and then it's being given to the people who run it and to their shareholders, and they can do what they want with it. And the thing that they plan to do with things mostly is fund defense. So here's an example of that. So they're saying that this band Deerhoof pulled its music from Spotify because of that. And that's one reason. But there's other things. There are other things. This isn't just one thing. So we're going to continue to investigate. Oh no, this article is so old. 2 months. Massive attack removed music from Spotify to protect against CEO Daniel Elk's investment in AI military. Let's see what they say about it. Oh, I don't want to sign in. Can I exit? Okay, so Massive Attack's a pretty big band and they left. So this says he did 600 million pounds. Or is that pounds? And that's your, I think that's the way. In June, ex-venture capital firm led defense tech firm's latest funding round to do this military drone, the HX2. And Helsing. Okay, one thing I want to say about, I need to make a list and write this down. Okay, I want to start taking notes of all the, also, I'm going to be streaming until about 2:30. Because I find a new one every day and it's very childish, or it's like, the playfulness is upsetting because there's so many ways to play and these people are so boring. But what I'm getting at is the things that they name things like 15-year-old boys. So I'm going to start to make a list, and this is for something that I'll do later. But every time I see that they've named one of their companies something from like a movie from the early 2000s, I'm going to write it down. And Helsing is one of them because of Van Helsing. And I don't care, I'm not going to research if this is where they got it from because they still came out with the name Helsing and they knew about Van Helsing. That's all. Okay, I started a list. We're going back to the browser. Okay, so he's done this and it's made people upset. And then they talk to Spotify about it, and Spotify says, Spotify and Helsing are two totally separate companies. They cannot be separate because the person benefiting off of it is using his benefit to create drones. So they're not separate in my eyes. He's not an artist. It's not like he's like separate the artist from the music. He's a business person. So let's see. It says that its efforts were focused on Europe defending itself in Ukraine. Do you know how many people have benefited from the Ukraine war? I keep finding out about more and more of them. Wait, am I supposed to be looking? Or you can just see the browser. Do you know how many people have been benefiting off of the Ukraine war? One of them is this company called, I found out about them like literally yesterday. The reason people don't know about them is because they're not publicly held, but they are a giant agri-food business. I did a video called like breakup with a CEO, and I broke up with the CEO. But that company is said to have like doubled its profits since the Ukrainian war alone. Because war is the way that they make money. They can only continue the way that they do things in a system of destabilization constantly. Constantly. Okay. Our technology is deployed to European countries for deterrence and for defense against this Russian aggression in Ukraine only. A massive attack joined Australian psych group King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard in taking their shit off of here. Okay, I saw them live and they rock, and that's awesome. The man has, they all do different, they're a cool band because they do different things. Like it's not just one singer, but one of the singers sings this song about the water going in the drain. It's very good. So, that's one thing that I know about Spotify. And then I want to look up Spotify Israel. This is gonna get difficult. I'm gonna have to put the mic. Can you like? Okay, you can still hear me. This end card keeps coming up because I made the hotkey E. And I don't think it's gonna work. I'm gonna have to be careful and watch what's happening. Okay, back to B. B is what I put for browsing mode. So Bjork bans Israeli users of Spotify and Apple Music from listening to her music. Please, let's try to make this post as respectful as possible. I'm here to talk about music, not politics. I'm from Israel, and other than homogenic and 3 songs that were in my library, I cannot listen to interview music, which I think is stupid. Even regarding my country's choices? Maybe you're not aware. I have no responsibility over what happens in Gaza. Why am I getting punished for it? Good for Bjork. You don't want to talk politics. That's literally what it is. Okay, but we have to find the answer we're looking for. Oh no, my live stream. Is it still happening? It says 16 minutes. I cannot tell. I guess I can't watch it on there. Is it back on the E? No. So why did Bjork ban Israeli users? And that's interesting that they let her do that. I mean, she's a very big artist. Oh, the internet is really not happy about this. No music for genocide. No music for genocide! Mm-hmm. Yes, there's actually no ceasefire going on, by the way. Since September, more than 1,000 artists have joined an international initiative to remove their music from Israel. So they're just getting their music out of Israel. That's what the connection is. Because they're trying to make people pay attention. So that's what that person is missing. Bjork is specifically talking to her fans saying, please do something about this. Oh, there it is, the end card. Please do something about this, or just to say like pause. It's a pause. And that person is refusing to recognize the pause. Okay, but it doesn't sound like there's any direct tie. So we'll move on because we're still on the why part. Why? So other reasons why. Let's find. Oh my god, I should have prepped a little more because I know. I wonder if I'll find this. Of course. Ah, I remember. Okay. I gotta plug this in. Okay, I'm genuinely gonna step back because this will be so much better if I plug the internet in. So BRB, actually using the end card. Still looks pretty laggy to me.